In the fertile town of Bracken Hollow, every year's harvest was more bountiful than the last. So lush, so impossibly perfect, that outsiders whispered of witchcraft or forbidden pacts. But the townspeople only smiled and said it was the blessing of the soil, a gift passed down for generations. Then one morning, as the mist clung to the orchards, the crows began to speak. At first it was nonsense, harsh caws that almost sounded like words. But soon people started hearing names. Secrets, confessions, sins buried beneath the fields. The crows perched on rooftops whispering about who poisoned whose well, who faked the church's blessings, who buried the drifter near the old oak. Their black eyes seemed to gleam with knowing. Panic set in when the crows began repeating a single phrase. The harvest remembers who listened. No one knew what it meant until the crops started to rot overnight. The fruits blackened in their baskets. The soil turned slick with a smell like decay, and those who tried to silence the birds by poison, by traps, by fire, were found days later, mouths stuffed with feathers, eyes missing, their hands clutched around ears as if they'd heard something they couldn't bear. Desperate, the town's mayor gathered the oldest family in Bracken Hollow, the Hollis clan, keepers of the original orchard. The matriarch, old Mira Hollis, warned that the crows were never the curse, they were the keepers. Long ago, her ancestors had made a bargain, one that required silence and gratitude. As long as no one spoke the truth about how the land grew so rich, the crows would keep the secret buried. But the people had grown greedy. They boasted, they lied, they bragged of miracles that were never theirs. And now the crows were simply reminding them. When the harvest moon rose blood red, the crows gathered by the thousands, blotting out the sky. Their voices blended into one great sound, a language of judgment. One by one, the townsfolk who had profited most began to scream, their bodies withering like fruit left too long in the sun. The orchards drank deep that night. By dawn, Bracken Hollow was silent again. The soil glistened with dew, rich and dark as ever. Only a few survived, those who had listened, those who had whispered back their repentance into the fields. And when the next season came, the crows returned, not to condemn but to warn. Because every bargain must be remembered, and every harvest somewhere has a price. Life lesson: greed and secrecy can turn blessings into curses. The truth, no matter how bitter, is the only thing that keeps the soil and the soul pure.